Hey everybody, this is Dan with Pain Free You. Today I wanted to talk about this concept called glimmers versus triggers. And a lot of people who've had chronic pain or chronic symptoms oftentimes have things that will trigger their symptoms, right? It might be a movement, it might be a body position, it might be a conversation with a family member, could be a stressful event, work, financial, whatever it may be. Could be, I need to go see a doctor tomorrow and I'm terrified of possibly getting bad news, so that's triggering me. And when the brain perceives danger, the symptoms can go up. So triggers are something that a lot of people in this chronic pain world speak about. And so I don't believe we want to collect triggers and learn what those triggers are, because if all we do is write out a list of all the things that trigger us, what we end up having is a list of things that I really want to and need to avoid. And that's not really a good thing, because then if you are triggered by a lot of things, then you're avoiding a lot of things in life. And that's exactly how people go and get housebound, or they don't hang out with friends, or they don't go to the grocery store and they have somebody else do it for them, or they call the grocery store and order it and have it delivered. And triggers are not something you really want to collect, because you just end up a need to avoid these things list. It's fine to notice, okay, these things trigger me, but instead of avoiding them, that can be a list of things that you want to teach your brain are actually safe and they're not actually dangerous. There's a bunch of different ways of doing it. Primarily it's graded exposure, gradually doing these things, expecting it to go well, and reminding yourself after the fact, if the symptoms do come up and they were triggered, then it can really be a matter of responding very calmly with reassurance, reminding yourself that, hey, I'm not broken. It wasn't actually taking that 5-minute walk that was the problem. It was the fear, the brain's perception that the 5-minute walk was too much. So those are all about triggers. Now, what are glimmers? Glimmers are those moments where all of a sudden you get this sense that, wow, I did this, I remained calm, and the symptoms came down. I had a trigger, the symptom jumped, and I remained calm, and I was able to actually teach my brain in that moment, by my calm response, that I'm not really in danger. And as a result, that's a glimmer. It's a glimmer of hope. It's a glimmer of accuracy. It's a glimmer of knowledge and insight, and something that you can really hold on to. So triggers, typically perceived as negative things. These glimmers are that little light bulb going off saying, you know what? I think I'm on the right path. I'm on the right track. And this is a wonderful thing to experience, but don't avoid triggers. If you do know what your triggers are, make it known to yourself and to your scared brain that those are the things I'm going to teach my own brain that I'm capable of doing. You know, walking down a flight of steps may be a trigger, but once we understand what's going on and how it all works, we can begin to say, I'm actually okay. And the glimmer here may be that when you see your daughter and you go running down the steps and your knees don't hurt, that's a glimmer that says, oh wow, maybe I'm not broken. Maybe my knees are not jacked. And that's a glimmer. Whereas typically, it was a trigger. And so the difference is, triggers are scary, but they don't have to be if you look at it and say, those are things I want to essentially overcome. We can overcome our triggers by doing those things, expecting it to go well, and if the symptoms show up, responding well. The glimmers are opportunities to go, holy crap, I'm in the right place. This stuff is going to work for me because I expected the best and I remained calm. And I reminded myself, yeah, the trigger just increased symptoms, but I'm actually okay, and it came down much quicker than it normally did. That's a glimmer of hope, a glimmer of something I can build some confidence and trust on. And it just kind of anchors the fact that I'm really okay. And those are opportunities for you to really get solid confirmation, personal experience, not just theoretical, how does this stuff work, but personal experience. A glimmer says, wow, my mindset was better. and I had a better day. That's not a coincidence. So think about these concepts, look for the glimmers, and if you are aware of the triggers, put that on a list of things that you're going to tackle, and you're going to overcome them by assuming that things are going to go well. Expect the best. And if symptoms do jump up, you can call it out. I know what's going on. I'm not concerned, because the brain's still just perceiving those things to be dangerous, but they're really not. And I know that because I've done the foundational work. What causes symptoms? Does it apply to me? Is there a solution? Yes, I'm capable of it. So look for the glimmers as things to hold on to and say, I'm in the right place, I'm making progress. And the triggers, just note them to say, those are the things I'm going to overcome. But if you list the triggers and say, these are the 18 things I can never do again because I know they have at one point created more symptoms, you're not doing yourself a service. So super, super important. Glimmers are good. Triggers can be bad, but they can also be a guidepost to say, that's what I want to teach my brain. So I'm going to wrap it up here. I am in Texas. I'm doing a photo shoot for the book and for some, lifestyle shots for my marketing and for my business. And so that's where I'm at. I'm at a beautiful ranch in, where are we? Weatherford, Texas. And it's gorgeous. So everybody, like usual, I love you, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.